fascist salute in the heart of Paris. On the 26th of May, a huge demonstration against same-sex marriage moved through the city. By its end, it was clear that a radical new right-wing fringe group had surfaced in French politics. Since the law allowing same-sex marriage was passed in early May, the issues cleave France in two between those who oppose it and those who support it.
But it's finished. Your cause is lost.
Hope you break your face, b****.
Radical feminist group Femin are among those who've chosen to confront the extreme right. These tense past few months have seen the graduation of a new generation of protesters. We're in Angers a few days before the march, here to meet some of those young people coming up the ranks on the extreme right. This group are all members of Civitas, a conservative Catholic organisation adamantly opposed to the same-sex marriage bill, also known as the Talbert law. 22-year-old student Louis-Marie joined the group last November and swiftly became a leader. What's the average age amongst you guys here?
Well, we're not going to do math, but I think it's close to 19, 20 years old.
That's not the image normally associated with this kind of movement.
It's true, it's important. Here is the real image, the true image of this type of movement.
Over the past few months, Louis-Marie and his friends have been learning the basics of activism. Putting up posters is this evening's activity.
You're not afraid of showing your convictions, Louisa?
Someone put it on me.
So, first challenge, first board. Let's go. Take one down, then put one up. That's a job well done.
The rain starts falling, but that's not enough to discourage Louis-Marie and his team. You must be really motivated to stay out in this weather.
Of course, we are motivated, we're determined. We persevere, and we won't give up.
For Louis-Marie, this fight for traditional family values goes beyond politics. It's a question of morality.
These days, we're witnessing a change in the political landscape. The ideas of left and right are done with.
Those are the National Front's words.
If you like. But to me, it's common sense. I really like seeing young people who are not afraid to show their convictions.
Is this the so-called right without shame?
As I said, it's beyond left and right. It's the Catholics without shame. It's the patriots without shame. It's been a long time since the country has known that. The Catholics and patriots without shame. That's how we define ourselves.
For 22-year-old Alexandre Gabriac, it's a case of straight patriotism. This regional advisor for the southeast region of Rhône-Alpes is also a leader of the Young Nationalists, an extreme right group known for its aggression. Outspoken Gabriac often finds himself in confrontation with the police, as shown by this footage of one of his recent arrests for public disorder. A former member of the National Front who was expelled from the party after this photo surfaced of him doing a Nazi salute. Gabriac sees the law allowing same-sex marriage as the ideal occasion to shake up the system.
We are ready to go all the way to tell the system that we are masters here in our land and that it shouldn't be up to corrupted and illegitimate officials to be in charge and rule the country.
What does it mean, go until the end?
It can take several forms. For us, it's a revolution we want, a revolution of hearts and souls. First, we want to wake up the French consciousness, wake up the whole population against the system. That could be by way of blockades, strikes, anything that will push the system to its limits. We must declare that we've had enough of the government and all its scandals.
This young politician's activities are closely monitored by the authorities. Paris, the 12th of May. The French far-right are preparing their annual march in honour of the Catholic saint Joan of Arc, a different day to the National Front's traditional May the 1st ceremony. Alexandre Gabriac is out and about, taking the opportunity to protest against the Talbert law, but also gain new recruits.
What would you like to know more about us?
What makes your party different from the National Front?
We have a nationalist doctrine that doesn't change, unlike the National Front's. Marine Le Pen never says much about gay marriage. She doesn't weigh in on the debate. Even the UMP is more active. We represent a true nationalist camaraderie. We don't just hang out on a Sunday to put some posters up. We really know each other. We spend time together. We know each other's girlfriends. We know each other's parents. It's a real community. It's more than just a political party.
What do you think these young people are looking for?
I think they're trying to figure out how to react to this system, because they see a democratic dead end amongst the usual political parties, even the National Front. These parties that are leading countries to a democratic dead end, leading us into decadence. People want to see something new. They want to see how we work, how we can be efficient, what we have to offer.
At the heart of the procession, Gabriac and his comrades in arms march with the veterans, but also alongside the fundamentalist Catholic group Civitas, co-organisers of the protest. Among them is Louis Marie, the young student from Angers. He isn't out on the street like the others. He's live broadcasting the events of the day on social networks from his van.
That's the last tweet we posted. The procession has got to Rue Royale.
As for sharing the march with more extreme right-wing elements like Alexandre Gabriac's group, even anti-Semitic groups, Louis Marie says it's not a concern.
I don't have a problem with that at all. I'd rather be next to a skinhead with a black bomber jacket on, because he's a defender of family values, than to be next to any politician, man or woman, who would have voted yes to gay marriage.
Are you part of this group of people we call the new reactionaries?
Well, it's a fact. We're not old. We're young. I'm 22. It's obvious we are a new group. There's a new dynamic developing for sure. It's not over, and I think it's only the beginning. As for reactionary, if you say I'm reactionary to the current socialist government, then I say yes. We're so reactionary, we're allergic.
Gaëtane also can't stand the idea of same-sex marriage. This 30-year-old aligns herself with the right, not the extreme right, but she shares some views with Louis Marie. 2 days before the demonstration in Paris, Gaëtane is out campaigning at a metro exit, learning how tough life can be as an activist.
There you go. Some people don't argue with words. That's the joy of flyering. It's hard being an activist. It's hard to sleep less and carry on with your daily life. We never stop. But I can't understand why the government won't realize, why they won't acknowledge us. Even with all these people standing up and saying, watch out, watch out.
The law may have already passed, but Gaëtane soldiers on. The following day, she attends a sit-in protest in the Place de l'Odéon, central Paris. Since last November, those opposed to the Talbert law have increasingly chosen these kinds of sit-in protests to register their dismay. Gaëtane's almost had enough practice now to be an expert. You've got a trick with the cup.
Everyone does the same. It's just so the candle lasts as long as possible. It's to protect it from the wind, also you don't get wax on your hands.
The event hasn't been rubber-stamped and quickly gets the attention of the police, which angers some of those gathered.
If you're here, you must sit and pray. Don't hide, just sit and pray.
Once all the protesters are in place, around 40 policemen surround them, and the atmosphere becomes tense.
Homophobe! Homophobe!
It hurts me when I hear that. I look around at everyone and say, of course not. I tell myself that they don't understand. I don't think any one of us is a homophobe. So it hurts.
An injustice, even if the law does not say so, still remains an injustice. Our struggle still has a meaning. If you're here, conscious while others have gone to sleep, you're still fighting.
Around midnight, the protesters dispersed discreetly, choosing to avoid trouble and save their voices for the days to come. The 26th of May, D-Day in Paris for opponents of the Talbert law. Gaëtan, Louis-Marie and Alexandre are all among the thousands of protesters rallying at Invalides in the centre of town. Organisers trying to stir up the crowd are almost swallowed up by this human tide. The mass protest's main objective is to keep up the pressure on the government. Gaëtan is in place and awaiting instruction. Is this the end of the movement?
We'll wait and see what they say. But for sure it's not the end. It's a newborn movement and it's going to last.
Louis-Marie is marching with the Civitas procession alongside some of the most radical sections of the crowd. For him, the strategy is straightforward.
This law is not legitimate. It's against common morals. We don't recognize it, and in no way are we going to admit that anyone should respect it. It doesn't deserve obedience or respect. This is a call for civil disobedience, and we will support all the mayors who will decide not to apply it. They already have the admiration and support of all the families you see behind me.
Whatever its outcome, the 26th of May march has already managed to shake up France's political landscape. While the right-wing UMP party has made tentative attempts to reach out to this group, it's also unsettled the traditional far-right, the National Front. The anti-Talbert movement's become a force to be reckoned with. Some members have even suggested putting candidates forward for the municipal elections in spring 2014, a way of getting into the system and changing the law from within.